I'm starting a new 100 pages a day reading challenge. This is my cat. She doesn't want to move. This is officially my first 100 pages a day reading challenge in 2026. In this reading challenge, my goal is to read at least 100 pages every day. I will update you on whether I reached the goal usually the next morning, and I will also share my thoughts on what I read. I really love doing this reading challenge. First, I love reading. Reading makes my daily life more interesting and helps me feel calm and peaceful. Secondly, it helps me read more consistently. When I have a goal, I will always thinking about it, which pushes me to read instead of scrolling on my phone. Lastly, this challenge helps me read more books, especially books that I might not usually try. For this reading challenge, I want to read Stoner by John Edward Williams. It's a classic and very popular, so if you have read it, let me know your thoughts on the book in the comments. Recently, I've been reading most of my books on my Kindle, but for this one, I really want a physical copy. I ordered it online, but it haven't arrived yet. So instead, I chose another book to start with, Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Shop Cafe by Fanny Flagg. The title of the book is so interesting. I only know it's about a friendship between a middle-aged woman and an older woman. I'm going to start with this book. So these are the books I'm going to read for this reading challenge. I'm not sure how many days it will take to finish them. So I will end the challenge once I'm done reading both. Okay, so let's start the challenge. Day 1 starts now. It's day 2. Yesterday was a fail. I only read about 20 pages of Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe, but I didn't find it interesting, so I decided to switch to another book. I started A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith, and I read 24 pages. So far, I'm really enjoying it, even though I'm only 4% into the book. It tells the childhood story of Francie, who grows up in Brooklyn, New York, in a very poor family. Even a piece of bread is a luxury for them. The writing is very vivid, and I can already tell that Francie is a smart and thoughtful girl. There is a scene where she goes to buy bread, and the old shop owner makes her think about how one day everyone will become old. That moment really stood out to me. It shows that Francie has her own unique way of thinking, even at a young age. I will keep reading. Hope I can read more today. Have you read this book, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's day 3. Yesterday on day 2, I read exactly 100 pages. I'm now on page 123, 23% through the book. I'm really enjoying A Tree Grows in Brooklyn so far. Reading it feels like someone is slowly and vividly telling you a story. It's gentle, detailed, and immersive. Now I know why Francie is so smart, because she's a reader. As the book says, when she was young, she read everything she could find: trash, classics, timetables, and the grocer's price list. Sometimes we love a book simply because we love or care about a character. And that's how I feel right now. I really love Francie. I just love her. She's curious about the world, and when she says something she can't have yet, she thinks about how one day she will have it. There is also a beautiful description of Francie, her mother, and her mother's sister. They were all slender, frail creatures with wandering eyes and soft, fluffy voices, but they were made out of thin, invisible steel. I love this line so much. It perfectly captures their quiet strengths. So that's about the book. And tomorrow my classes begin, so I'm not sure if I will still be able to read 100 pages every day, but I will try my best, and I will continue to update whenever I have time. My book is here. Let's unpack it together. Dun, 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 dun. I will finish A Tree Grows in Brooklyn first. It's day 4 of the reading challenge. Yesterday I didn't reach the 100-page goal. I read 54 pages of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I don't have time to talk about the book. I need to catch up the train to school. It's day 5 of the reading challenge. Yesterday on day 4, I didn't reach the 100-page goal. I only read 35 pages of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Yeah, that's it. Today I also have classes, so I need to go to school now. It's day 6 of the reading challenge. Yesterday on day 5, I read 40 pages of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, so I didn't reach my 100-page goal. I'm starting to realize that it's hard to hit 100 pages every day when I have a busy schedule, and that's realistic. Since school started, there will probably be more days when I didn't reach the goal. If you also have a busy life, I think it's completely okay that you read 20 or 30 pages a day. Sometimes you simply don't have enough time, and sometimes you are just too tired to read. That's normal, and that's okay. What matters most is enjoying the peace and happiness that reading brings. I still recommend setting a goal though. Having a goal helps you stay mindful of how you spend your time. For example, I often ask myself whether I can replace a bit of doom scrolling on my phone with reading a few pages instead. I'm still working on finding ways to read more on busy days, but I think starting with a simple, realistic goal and improving little by little is the key. As for the book, I'm about halfway through. It's a pretty long book, and I feel like whether you enjoy it really depends on whether you care about the main character, Francie. If you don't connect with her, you might find the story a bit slow because there aren't many dramatic ups and downs. Instead, the book focuses on small, everyday moments in Francie's life as she grows up. For example, there is a scene that about Francie and her brother can get a Christmas tree on Christmas Eve or after. I don't remember exactly because they don't have the money to buy one earlier. I enjoy reading this book because I really care about Francie. I care about how she thinks about the people around her, how she reflects on the words others say to her, and what kind of person she will become when she grows up, which I believe I will discover later in the story. These are my thoughts about the book so far. I'm going to keep reading and try to read as much as possible today. This is day 7 of the reading challenge. Yesterday on day 6, I read exactly 100 pages of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. So I reached my goal. I'm 65% through the book. At this point, the story is not only about Francie growing up, but also about how hard her parents work just to make sure the family has food on the table. It also shows the way people in the neighborhood treat one another, how women talk about other women behind their back. These small details make the world of the story feel very real. Once again, I think whether you love the book really depends on whether you care about the main character, Francie. The story doesn't rely on big dramatic moments. Instead, it focuses on everyday life, quiet struggles, and slow growth. Because I care about Francie, I find these moments meaningful rather than boring. I have about 180 pages left. I will try to finish the book today. It's day 8 of the reading challenge. Yesterday on day 7, I read 77 pages of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. I'm now on page 430, 80% through the book. At this point in the story, Francie and her brother are growing up. They are around 12 and 14 years old now. They have started working after school to earn money, which feels like an important turning point in their lives. I won't spoil any details, but there is a moment where they use the money they earned to buy a present for their mother and even for each other. mother. That scene is incredibly warm and moving. I'm going to keep reading and hope I can finish the book soon. This has turning out to be a longer reading challenge than I expected, but I'm really enjoying the journey. It's day 9 of the reading challenge. Yesterday, on day 8, I read 80 pages of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I didn't reach my goal. I almost finished the book. I'm on page 510, 95% through the book. I'm going to finish the book today. Yeah, today I also need to go to school. I need to catch the train to school right now. Bye. It's day 10 of the reading challenge. Yesterday on day 9, I read 25 pages of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. So I didn't reach the 100-page goal, but I did finish the book. I'm realizing more and more how hard it is to reach 100 pages a day with a full-time schedule. I will probably adjust the goal in a future reading challenge. Reading is a process. It takes time to learn what works and to make adjustments. What matters most is that I keep reading and enjoy reading. As for the book, I enjoyed reading it overall. It's quite long, but it's filled with small, quiet moments that truly move you. The beauty of the story lies in those details. And today I'm going to start my second book, Stoner by Joan Williams. If you have read it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's day 11 of the reading challenge. Yesterday on day 10, I read 30 pages of Stoner by Joan Williams. I didn't reach my goal. I will talk about the book later. Right now I need to catch the train to school. Bye. It's day 12 of the reading challenge. Yesterday on day 11, I read 35 pages of Stoner by Joan Williams. I didn't reach the 100-page goal. It's day 13 of the reading challenge. My cat doesn't want to move. Yesterday on day 12, I read 32 pages of Stoner by John Williams. So again, I didn't reach the 100-page goal. At this point, the challenge feels like it's going to take forever. But that's just the reality of having a full-time schedule. Still, I'm reading every day, even if it's only a few pages. And that matters. I'm currently on page 98. So far, the story is, of course, about Stoner. After all, that's the title of the book. But I'm still not entirely sure what kind of person he is. My impression right now is that he's very introverted and doesn't seem to have strong opinions about the world. He feels neutral about most things, or at least he doesn't express himself much. The book tells the story of Stoner growing up and helping his parents running the farm. Later, he goes to college, originally studying science, chemistry, I think, but eventually he changes his major to literature and begins working toward a PhD. There are many conversations between his friends and classmates, especially about the war, and they often express strong opinions. Stoner, on the other hand, mostly listens. He rarely shares what he thinks, which makes him feel distant but also intriguing. What I didn't expect was that Stoner would meet a woman and that the story would begin focusing on their relationship. I won't spoil anything, but I feel a bit confused about what the story is trying to say through their relationship. Edith, the woman Stoner meets, feels a little strange to me. I can't quite figure her out yet. I will keep reading and see where the story goes. If you have read Stoner, let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's day 14 of the reading challenge. 2 weeks since I started this reading challenge. Yesterday on day 13, I read 28 pages of Stoner by John Williams. I didn't reach the goal. I'm on page 126, about 45% through the book. I'm going to keep reading. It's day 15 of the reading challenge. Yesterday on day 14, I only read 10 pages of Stoner by John Williams, so I didn't reach the 100-page goal. Yesterday I went to IKEA and then I came back. I didn't feel like reading, so I only read 10 pages before going to sleep. That's okay. Though some days are like this. I'm still reading. That's what matters. I will keep reading and try to read more today. It's day 16 of the reading challenge. Yesterday on day 15, I read 64 pages of Stoner by John Williams. I didn't reach the 100-page goal, and that's okay. I've realized that this goal isn't very realistic for me right now. I will adjust it in my next reading challenge. I have 78 pages left to finish the book. So far, my thoughts are that the first half of Stoner wasn't that interesting to me. I felt slow and I had a hard time fully connecting with the story at the beginning. But as I kept reading, the book became more and more engaging. Through the later chapter, I can clearly see what kind of person Stoner is. One part I found especially interesting is the argument between Stoner and his colleagues about whether a PhD candidate should be allowed to pass. In that moment, Stoner chooses to stand by truth and remain true to himself, even when it costs him. That situation feels very real and very relevant to real life. I will share my highlights from what Stoner said in that scene. I'm also finding the relationship between Stoner and one of his students very interesting, so I'm curious to see what the storyline develops. It's another day. Yesterday on day 16, I read the final 78 pages of Stoner by Joan Williams and finished the book. The ending was incredibly emotional and moving. I felt many things while reading it. I felt sad for Stoner, for how little power he has to change the world or the people around him, no matter how honest or devoted he is. At the same time, there were moments that felt very warm and tender when Stoner sits with his daughter Grace, quietly talking while she drinks. Through that conversation, we can see her thoughts and her pain, and it felt both intimate and heartbreaking. Seeing Alice finally care for Stoner left me conflicted, and when Stoner thinks about Catherine, the woman who made him feel truly alive, it felt bittersweet. Overall, Stoner wasn't a book that I loved right away. The first half felt slow and not that interesting to me. But once I reached the middle, the story became more and more compelling, and by the end, I truly understood Stoner as a character. The ending especially was beautifully done. So that's the end of this reading challenge. I didn't reach the 100-page goal most of the time, but I did read every day, and that matters to me. I finished the two books, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith and Stoner by Joan Williams. If you have a full-time schedule, reading 100 pages a day can be really difficult, but even 10 or 20 pages a day is enough. What matters the most is enjoying the process of reading. When you look back, you will realize you have still made progress. I hope this reading challenge inspires you in some way. What are you reading right now? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found a great book and happy reading. I will see you in the next one.